So by now you've likely heard about the drama between Solar Paws and Birdydogs, and if it makes no sense to you, you're not the only one. In fact, you are far from the only one, because I read that document and literally none of it clicked in my special brain. It could just be me kind of struggling to understand things sometimes, but I'm getting a basic comprehension of what's kind of going on as of right now, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I apologize if I make a little bit of no sense, because what we're getting is also making no sense, so let's get into this. And I just want to make it clear that it doesn't matter who you side with in this situation. Like, anyone that doesn't side with Rory, people are going to hate. People are going to be like, oh my gosh, you're against him, you're transphobic or whatever, because people just love to use that word for everything. And if you support Solar, then of course you're supporting hate against Rory, and I don't really know where I stand in this situation. Honestly, I kind of lean towards Solar and Soda Tab's side. By the way, I'd recommend watching their video on it, because that actually really helped way more than reading the document did, and that's why I'm making this video, because I'm kind of starting to understand it a bit more, and I kind of just want to show my opinion on that and who I kind of side with in this situation, because it's a little deeper than just harassing and evidence and stuff. So yeah. So I think the best way I can explain it is Birdydogs is trying to blame Solar for calling him a groomer and a pedo, which isn't true, clearly. And Solar, or well, Soda Tab, responded with a very long document that made zero sense. But from my understanding, Rory's boyfriend, I think Frank was his name, I don't know, Rory's partner of some sort, was contacting a 15-year-old that I guess Solar Paws contacted before and was dating. I don't really know, but I do know that this dude's boyfriend is talking to a minor, and that is the main problem here. Now, me personally, I think this is all a bit ridiculous to start a bunch of drama on. Of course, if he's being creepy towards this minor, then obviously, we're gonna need to talk about that and call that out. But, I mean, if they're just talking, maybe just as simple like, hey, don't talk to this person, or don't talk to this person as much without being supervised, or something like that. So where I stand as for, who should be talking to who doesn't really matter in this situation. It's just who is in the wrong here, and at this point, no one really knows. This is a very confusing situation, because of course, Birdydogs is being favored in this situation. People are like, don't listen to Solar, he only wants drama in the community. And while that can be true, I don't really know what kind of problems he has caused in the past, but not everyone is just out for drama. If there's a real problem in the community, you're going to want to talk about it. So we should not be calling him a terrible, disgusting person just for calling out something he clearly knows and wants to be heard. This is seriously getting out of hand, and this is the part that really annoys me, is calling Solar and Tab a bad person, and I've never really been a fan of those people, but I'm kind of starting to look into them a bit more and kind of respect them a bit, and it is just getting ridiculous how much hate we are sending to these people for simply trying to bring something up that they just want Birdydogs to apologize about. Now, something that I did notice in Birdydogs' video that I think he made it about the document itself. He went on with complaints saying they were making disgusting claims about him, and he really emphasized on the disgusting and made sure that everyone knows that he has a couple of disorders that cause him to forget. And me personally, I think it's a bit of bullshit. I think he is absolutely using those, against them, and like Tab said, I don't know really much about DID, but I'm sure you don't forget that much if you have committed a crime, or not saying he committed a crime, but if you're, doing creepy stuff or harassing someone, you're not just going to forget. And if you did, just like Tab said, again, I don't know anything about DID, but I guess if your alter does something, then take responsibility for it, because it's your body, and in reality, it's all only one in your mind. So take responsibility for it, and that is the one thing Rory is not doing. It doesn't matter what he did. I don't know if he really did anything. Again, this situation is so confusing, but clearly he is doing something that they do not like, and he demanded evidence, and then now that they post evidence, and he say they didn't post evidence, but there's clearly a lot of screenshots, so I didn't really look at all of those in depth, but surely that is enough to call him out on something, and he is not taking responsibility for it at all. He is saying, none of this is true, these are disgusting claims. Just grow up. If you did it, then take responsibility for it, apologize, admit that you did it, and move on. And if you didn't do it, you don't have to spread hate on these people. Just say, hey, I didn't do this. Block them and move on. There's no need to threaten legal action as well. And I don't really know how far this harassment has gone. As far as I know, they've only, made that one comment and made the document and a couple of videos on it. So that is not harassment. So overall, I think that Rory is absolutely making excuses. He's stated, his autism, his DID, his disabilities, whatever the hell is up with him, and he is just not taking responsibility. So either take responsibility or say that you didn't do it. It's pretty simple. I know it's hard with all this, you are currently people are saying you're doing something that you either did or didn't do. Now, of course, if you didn't do anything and you're completely innocent, it's so easy to just say you didn't, maybe talk with the person privately, and if they still don't believe you, just move on. And again, if these things are true, own up for your actions, and we can all be chill again. I'm sorry for the little rant, guys. It really annoys me when people are currently attacking each other for just a simple problem. And kind of the same thing I talked about on the Paw Pads 4 video. I despise it when people just hurl mean words at each other, calling someone a disgusting and terrible person for trying to say you did something. That's just wrong, man. So regardless, I hope this situation gets better, and I'm going to leave Soda Tab's video in the description because I would totally recommend watching it. I know he, I'm not sure, wrote the document, and it didn't make much sense, but the video makes a lot more sense to me, so go ahead and watch that. It's an incredible video. Thank you all for your patience. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!